We are live. Okay, so today, so what happened last week was that for some reason the audio did not work, and so I have to redo what I spoke about last week, which is framework number 4. This is from my free leads blueprint that I have created. Basically, how to generate leads online for free organically without paid ads or without basically constantly being on social media. And so this blueprint that I've talked about, so if you're on YouTube, there should be a playlist for free leads blueprint and framework number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're on number 4 today, and we're going to be talking about Authority Hub. So what is an authority hub? So basically, an authority hub is where you want to send all of your traffic, whether it's from Google Business Profile, whether it's from Google, Instagram, uh, Facebook, and you want to create your base where you want to send all of your traffic, and that should technically be your website. And so the question is, whether you have, or do you need a website, for that matter. I know there are businesses out there that have um, created tremendous businesses without a website, building funnels and basically generating traffic from Facebook ads and putting them into a funnel, click funnels or whatever, and getting generating income that way. But ultimately, at a certain point in your business, you're going to have a website because, when you start building a business and you want to have a business that is going to be there for the long term, you're going to have to build a brand. And so you have to build a website. And so that's where the Authority Hub comes into play, right? Whether you do that now or later, it's up to you. So, um, can you have a can you use other social media platforms for your Authority Hub? Yes and no, right? I think you can initially if money is the obstacle, because at the end of the day, having a website, there is cost involved. So I just want you to understand that there is, to get a good website, a good platform that is going to um, take care of you, right, is going to cost you at a minimum couple $100. Okay, the one that we prefer with agents and investors, and I actually have it set up with my service business using Carrot, and that's what I use for. That's what I recommend. Now, we do have a platform coming out recently in the next month or two that we've created, built upon a platform that we know is awesome. It's Go High Level, and I'm coming out with my own white label version of it. It's called Pro 360, and so you'll be hearing about that. But um, going back to Authority Hub, so you know you need to build a place where you can send traffic, and then that is your base where people will come and find more information about you, or to collect name and email addresses of those people coming to your website. Now, the main content of your website, there are certain parts of your website. When I say parts, I mean more of what are the pages that you will need, right? And of course, it's your home page, right? Basically, when people land on it, you want a nice looking home page where people can find out more about you or your business or your brand. Definitely want an about page, because that is probably the number one, if not number two page that most people go to, because they want to know more about you or your business. And then the testimonial page, basically building credibility. And then, of course, building out your services and your areas. Okay. And so when we're talking about local SEO or SEO and generating um, uh, uh, traffic through Google, those are the pages that you need. And at a minimum, each page should have 800 words or more. Okay, and there's specific things that you have to do on those pages, but I think most importantly, they're called H1 tags. You got to put H1 tags, and then you also have to put meta tag descriptions, and so I'm not going to go into in depth into those things, but those are the fundamental pages. And then, of course, lastly, a contact us, or so a way that people can contact you in case you don't have any, like a web a chat widget, or a chat, a way to people then can get in contact with you. Now, when it comes to building credibility on your website, now there are ways, okay, so where um, you can create, you can get these widgets or platforms that get pull reviews from various platforms, and then you put the widget on your website. However, that does not create um, a page with words on it, because it's a widget. So I would say that you need to build. So every platform has a way that you can actually put reviews, and so you would have to gather all those reviews and put them actually on the website, so that Google index those pages. And so um, and of course, the most important thing, just forgot to mention that, when you're building out the Authority Hub, your website, you got to put Google Analytics so that you can analyze the traffic that's coming to the website. And uh, um, I think July of this year, Google is going to phase out the old Google Analytics and phase out. And they're putting in a new Google Analytics, and so I'm going to be talking about that in the future in this channel. But all right. So, and then, when it comes to credibility and reviews, and I talked about that in my framework I believe number 2, about getting reviews, is because at the end of the day, Google Business Profile, when it comes to reviews, that's like the number 2 item when it comes to optimizing Google Business Profile, in my opinion. And so I think reviews is very, very important. And the more credibility that you have on your website, the more credible you build. It basically building your credibility, your brand, right? And so you want to make sure that you boost that up as much as possible. And so every chance you get, whether it's through your clients, through your network, always try to get reviews every single time you connect with, or you close a transaction, or you do a transaction. And so constantly be always doing that. Okay. Um, and going back to the niche and the service areas. So now, especially when it comes to local services, this is where area pages might come in. And so what they call market community pages or market areas. So especially when it comes to real estate agents or investors, you want to have a page dedicated to each of the market or towns that you serve. Okay, and it is very important that those have, you know good information, and not just, just I see a lot of real estate agents websites where they would just pull up a map and then just have some generic information. You want to have meaningful content, and so you either have to uh, write it yourself, or you have to basically outsource that and and have that written by somebody else. Okay, I strongly recommend you have somebody else do it, because at the end of the day, your time is valuable. Okay, and then when it comes to the services that you provide, it's best that you can have those pages of all of the services that you provide as well. Okay, and like I said, 800 to 1,000 words is optimal. All right, so when it comes to SEO and keywords, right? Um, I think most importantly, I'm not going to go into the technical details of exactly how to do it on your platform because you can Google that and you can find that out. But most importantly is that each page, the head H1 tag they call it or the title tag has your keywords of whatever that you're specifically trying to target. Okay, and so that is, I would say, the most important when it comes to on your pages in your website authority hub. Right. So I think um, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I didn't want to go in depth into each of these page, like what's involved, things like that. But I think those are the fundamentals when it comes to building out your authority hub, and also of course when you build out your authority hub and you want to start getting SEO, and uh, how does Google really um, uh, rank your page when it comes to content wise, right? So really, when you look at um, writing content, you can do that in many ways as long as, is it writing one blog post a week? So basically, what Google is looking for is content that is pushed out on a regular basis, whether it's once a month, once a week, um, that provides information to on the internet. So, and Google will see if you push out duplicate content and things like that as well. And so, um, and that is done really through blog posting. And we recommend every week to push out content, right? But is it possible? Not everybody, has a business set up to push out one blog post a week, especially if you don't know how to write, if you're not a good writer, right? And so Google looks at that, and and so that is considered content in the eyes of Google for your website. Now, how does Google determine whether the content is, whether your website goes on top, or is ranking number one or ranking on top of somebody else, right? At the end of the day, Google looks at the time that a person stays on your website. So let's say, for example, if a consumer goes on website A and the same go to website B, another person goes to the website B, and somebody stays on website A for 2 minutes and another one for 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Google is going to deem the person that stayed on that website for 2 minutes because they assume that that person is going to the website, reading the content, and the reason why they're staying there is because that content is providing value. Whereas somebody that's going to website B just goes there, sees it, they don't see anything of value, and they just bounce. And that's what's called bounce rate, right? And so, when two of these websites are in the same category, competing for the same keywords, of course, Google is going to put website A higher on the search engine than website B because of the time. And so when we are looking at analyzing, the things that we can improve, we look at it from a user's perspective and not necessarily trying to hack Google's algorithm because at the end of the day, the user is going to determine how long they stay. And so at the end of the day, we're looking to see are we providing information that will incentivize a end user to stay on the website longer. All right. So on that note, I think I've pretty much wanted to say what I wanted came to say today. But hopefully in the next so next week, I'm going to be talking about the fifth framework, and then after that, starting next after that, when I do these lives, it is my goal to give as much advance notice, and then also to um, make it more, hopefully, have some questions and do some real live coaching. I know right now I'm going through the framework only because it is something that I wanted to put out there and to kind of develop my blueprint and and fine tune it. So this is my process of doing that by going live and talking about it. And then also, of course, before I go live, I'm actually preparing and so making it better as well. All right. Um, Thank you for watching this channel, this video, and hopefully the audio worked today, and hope to see you in the future. So if you have any comments, please put your comments below, and I appreciate any, if you're watching this, I appreciate you, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye now.